Hi, it's Taylor T. Carlson. I'm here with another video for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at Arkanoid Do It Again for the Super Nintendo. Released in 1997, this was actually one of the last games released on the system. The Arkanoid series, which began in 1986 with the arcade game, actually added a lot of innovations into the old Breakout concept. They added things like a plot line of all things, in addition to power-up items, enemies, even boss fights. In the Arkanoid games, you play as a bar called the VAUS, V-A-U-S, and it's your job to explore. You've been sent from the mothership, which is called Arkanoid, which is where the game gets the name from, and you go into these areas and you have to use the ball and the bar to clear out a path for the ship. The game starts simple and it's actually quite easy to learn, but it's certainly difficult to master, as anyone who's ever played any game in this series will let you know. And while there have been several Arkanoid games released over the years, many of which in Japan only, I would have to say this is probably my favorite of the lot. It's the most accessible, it's got a lot of power-up items, different modes, and there's definitely a little something for everyone here. When you start playing through the levels, destroying the blocks, one of the first things you'll notice is that capsules fall from the blocks. These are the power-up items, and when you collect these, each one has a different effect. This can really affect the way that you play through the game, and it really sets it apart from all of the other Breakout clones that you will find out there. If you have the Super NES mouse that came with Mario Paint, you can actually use that to control this game in addition to a standard SNES controller. If you have a regular SNES controller, even then the control scheme is pretty simple. You move the VAUS bar back and forth with left and right, and the A button lets you perform certain tasks that are necessary during the game, including things with certain power-up items. You can also hold down the B or Y button to move the rod faster, or you can hold them both down to go very fast. Arkanoid Do It Again has 99 levels, every 11th level of which being a boss fight. These definitely, much like the power-ups I mentioned earlier, set this apart from your standard Breakout clones. It is likely you will be seeing the game over screen a lot. The difficulty definitely can escalate, and it is pretty tough to keep the ball in play. However, you do have unlimited continues, and in addition to that, you can actually get a password which you can use to start from whatever level you left off on. With a 99 level game, that's definitely an appreciated feature. Like I said, we've got a 99 level single player mode, but there's also 3 multiplayer modes. Game A in the multiplayer mode is your standard 2-player alternating game where you compete for a higher score. This is similar to the 2-player mode that the Arkanoid port on the NES had. Game B is a 2-player simultaneous cooperative mode in which you and a friend work together, each one of you controlling your own VAUS bar to keep the ball in play. This is definitely something that'll make playing through all 99 levels a lot more fun and rewarding. Or if you and your friend are the competitive types and you just want to duke it out, Game C is a 2-player versus mode with a split screen. You're each given the same screen, and whoever clears it first is the winner. Alternatively, if your opponent loses, you also win that way. Another unexpected treat that you'll find in this game is a level editor in which you can actually create your own levels and let a friend play them. You get a few options, including the standard colored bricks, the silver bricks, which take multiple hits to destroy, the gold bricks, which are indestructible, and then things like your choice of enemy, backdrop, and what blocks you want capsules to come out of. The game is definitely a lot of fun, although I do have a few complaints with it. First and foremost, the boss fights repeat. You're going to fight each one of the bosses 3 times. For instance, you're going to fight the same boss on level 11 that you do on level 44 and on level 77. The same thing happens with the subsequent 2 boss enemies as well. Even the final boss in the game is the same as a boss you fought twice before. I would rather play more regular blockbusting levels than I would fight the same boss twice with no difference. Some other issues stem from that level creation mode I told you about. First of all, it's tucked away in the option menu, so it's kind of obscure just finding the thing. And even when you do, you can't save your levels, so what's the point? Similarly, the options are pretty limited. You can only use one type of enemy, and there are a few other restrictions that might derail your dreams of creating the perfect level, including not being able to choose what kinds of capsules you'll find in each block. You'll also notice the backgrounds have these really interesting designs of spaceships fighting and traveling through space, but in a precision detail puzzle game like this, I found these to be a lot more distracting than helpful. And another small issue, when you go to choose your multiplayer mode, it just says Game A, Game B, Game C. How is somebody who doesn't own the instruction manual supposed to know which mode is which? Couldn't we have said 2-player alternating, 2-player simultaneous cooperative, 2-player versus? Would it have been that much trouble to type in a few extra letters? Complaints aside, this is still one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. It's fast-paced puzzle action. You can do it on your own. You can do it with a friend. It definitely finds ways to keep your interest. The original arcade game ported to the NES was always one of my favorites, and this definitely improves upon it in every conceivable way, so it's definitely a game you should get if you're into fast-paced puzzlers and you still own a Super Nintendo. Do you agree with this review? Have you played Arkanoid Do It Again? Is this one of your favorite games on the system? Were you not as thrilled with it as I was? Please feel free to comment in the section below, and also remember to like and subscribe to my channel as well. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I will see you next time.